Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me either on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, or my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Like, share, subscribes and comments is greatly appreciated on either or both of those platforms, and much love to everybody who's doing that thus far. Thank you to everybody who's helping me grow, helping me learn and expand, especially on tech skills, because I'm not very good at that at all. So thank you to everybody who's behind the scenes helping me with that also. I love you all. So I'm putting out as much free content as I can, mainly via tarot, to help support, guide and inspire the collective. Because it is general, whether it's the daily energy reads that I do or whether it's the monthly sign by sign readings that I do. Because they're general, you have to be discerning, you have to take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. You know, some of it might resonate with you, the whole reading might resonate with you sometimes, like a private reading, and then other times there's just bits that you can pick out, and then other times it just does not resonate at all. But you just take what helps, take what guides, and leave the rest behind. So I'm putting out the daily energy reading for the 21st of April 2020. And today the first card is the Chariot, but it's in reverse. And this speaks of the fact that a lot of people have been doing a lot of inner work. We've been almost forced to face self during this process that we've collectively been going through. We've had the choice to use this time wisely, to do the inner work, to get in balance, to get whole, ready to go forward. Now the Chariot in its upright position speaks of movement, it speaks of going forward, it speaks of going forward in balance, in sync. These two creatures, the yin and the yang, the divine feminine, divine masculine, in balance, ready to pull the chariot at the same speed, in the same direction. And it's a force to be reckoned with. When we reach the Chariot, we're ready to go. And we're ready to, you know, get people to just move out the way, because this Chariot is moving now. We've done the work, we're ready to go. But it's in the reverse. Now a lot of people have been doing exactly what I've just said, that inner work that has been so important, and another one of the blessings to take away from this situation, in that we have had the opportunity for the first time in most of our lifetimes to have so much time collectively to do the inner work, to get whole, to get balance, to learn about thyself, know thyself, heal thyself. And we've been practicing that. We've been forced into a situation that did allow us that blessing to have that time, if we chose to use it, to do those things. But now for a lot of people it's frustrating, because we've done that inner work, we're in our Chariot, yet there's this outside force that is bringing it to a halt, that has still got the brakes on. We desperately want to rip the brakes off and go for it forward. But this outside control is putting a halt to this Chariot. It's not allowing it to go forward. So you can imagine energetically, just like a dam of water in the water, where the water fills up and builds up and is putting pressure against the dam. It rains, adds more water to it, more pressure. That's how I feel a lot of people are today, in that they've done the inner work, their waters are in balance, and they're sort of ready to start pushing against this force that's halting their Chariot, that's halting their movement forward. So there's a little bit of a frustration building here. And again, we've got to learn to transmute that, because that takes us out of balance, it takes us out of whack, it takes us off focus, it puts our focus on something else. So it's quite a difficult position to be in. And this is where I think strategy is going to come in for a lot of people. It's time to start questioning for yourself individually. Am I doing the right thing by allowing myself to be halted this way? Am I doing the right thing by allowing my business to go down the drain? What would really happen if I just opened up again? What would occur? Is it worth taking that chance to just try and see? Will you be left alone? And if enough people do it, will you be left alone to just be able to continue and move your Chariot forward? These are the questions people are asking themselves today. I can't say for you, hey Theodore, I can't say for you what you should do, because that goes against everything that I've just said. You need to be that individual. You need to be divine and sovereign and ask yourself those questions and answer those questions for yourself. For me, I don't want to be halted anymore. For me, I'm removing this halt, this block. I want my chariot to go forward. Because I've done the work. I've done a lot of research. I'm not just making this decision in a reactionary way. In order to get to my chariot point, I've done a lot of inner work over the last few months, and before that, but intensely over the last few months. I've gotten in balance. I've opened up in areas that I'd never considered opening up again. I'm ready to go forward now. So for me, I'm going to be continuing to expand my business and to go forward with it and to remove this block, this halt from my chariot. So that's where I'm at today. And put in the comments where you're at. It would be interesting to hear where your mindset is with your chariot, how you feel about being halted. This does speak to, on the greater stage, the wider stage of corruption. It does speak to, a malevolent force, a darker force, wanting to stop that is good, wanting to stop forward movement that will progress both individuals and collectively, the people collectively. So it does speak to exactly what most people know now is going on. Even if we don't know the details, we don't know the who's exactly, we don't know the whens, the what's exactly, we know that this force of control has been acting in a malevolent way, causing confusion, lying, causing people to suffer, even more so than the very thing they are using as an excuse to halt people's chariots. So that's going into the conspiracy, and I don't want to go into that too much, but just question yourself, how much longer would you be okay with your chariot being halted? How much longer could you continue to still sit in the magnificent, forceful energy of the chariot without having to then be so compliant that you take a step back and step out of your chariot? Because being in a chariot that is halted, the kind of power that the chariot carries, that this card, the energy of this card has, the forward forceful movement, the kind of force that this has, you can't sit comfortably in a chariot that is halted for very long. You either have to break through that blockage and get through that barrier, or you would have to step off the chariot and take a step back and be a bit more compliant and try and just swallow your pride, your wants, your needs, and be more compliant with that outside force that is halting your chariot. So ask yourself today, how much longer are you okay with this for? How much longer could you put up with this for? And are you willing to take a step back from this chariot that you've worked so hard to get into and get into balance with? It would be interesting to know the answers of other people. So the next card is the Seven of Air. Now this speaks of, this gets me cross, because this speaks of the same corruption that I'm picking up with the chariot, that halt in this beautiful force, this chariot, this balanced person, people who are in their chariots, who have done the inner work to get there. This speaks of corruption. This speaks of something or someone trying to steal from you, trying to take that which is yours. Now, a lot of it has been collectively and intensely today. I think there's going to be quite a few news stories that break, that seem really random, really out there, clutching at straws type news stories about this current issue that I don't even want to name. There's going to be a little bit more gaslighting going on, because part of this theft, a huge part of this theft that I'm picking up on, is energetic. They want to hook into people's fears. They want to hook into people's confusion. They want to worm their way down into that compliant part, that after the fear, after the confusion, the compliance and the looking outside of self to be saved comes in. So there's very definitely that kind of energetic theft going on. And that has been mainly done through the mainstream media. So advice, don't watch the mainstream media. Don't get your information from the bought and paid for platforms. The other thing is, in your individual life, everything reflects in on everything. So unfortunately, some of you might be experiencing the fact that it's actually been somebody close to you also that has helped halt your chariot, that is holding you back, or that has taken something from you, stolen from you. Some of you might have experienced family members, friends, loved ones stealing something, stealing either an idea of yours or stealing money, something that you need, equipment. Because everything reflects in on everything, as above, so below, as within, so without. And because of this, the amount of theft, monetary wise, also on the greater stage, by those that are halting people's chariots, that are controlling the situation right now, is astronomical. So while other businesses are suffering, while individuals are suffering because they haven't got their job to go to, both mentally and physically and emotionally, all of that goes towards this theft. That there's a few people that aren't sort of part of the collective that are raking it in right now, that are making big plans to rake in even more energy, compliance, ideas. There's some of you out there that have come up with some extraordinary ideas, appliances, equipment, and that is part of this chariot, and you're ready to go with it. You're ready to start flying with it. You're ready to start building a prototype or something like that. And watch out for who you tell about your idea, because it's that kind of energy that would steal that intellectual property. It's this kind of energy that, Big Pharma would put a block on something that would be very good for healing, not just maintaining, not just putting a plaster over an ailment or a condition, but healing an ailment or a condition. So there's some of you out there that have got a great idea, great project for the collective to be able to enjoy. And there's this halt and theft of this idea, theft of this project. So keep an eye on that, and keep an eye on the people around you, and continue to see this as an opportunity to be like a sieve. You're basically sieving out that doesn't serve you, and what doesn't serve you is making itself very apparent. Because the people who are trying to take control are losing their grip. So they're getting careless, they're getting restless, they're showing their hand, they're showing their character more and more. So just keep an eye on that in your private life also, and keep an eye on that on the greater stage as well. Maybe that will help you decide as to whether to just go through this block that's blocking your chariot. Maybe that will give you the impetus and the fire to say no more. Thank you. I'm moving forward with this. The third card being the King of Pentacles. But again, and I'm sorry if this reading today is a little bit humdrum and a little bit negative. It's actually, no reading is ever negative, because there's always something that you can do with it. There's always something that you can be released from with the information, or go forward with the information. So picture yourself being released from outside control systems, those obstacles put in place. Picture yourself being around people that you know have got your six, that you can trust with your life, that you can trust with your money, that you can trust with your partner, that you can just trust. So this is a sieving process, that's all. Now this King of Pentacles in the reverse is not to be trusted at all. He speaks of corruption, he speaks of theft, he speaks of a very negative energy that wants to take, that wants to control, that wants it his way or no way at all. So again, in your individual lives, keep an eye out for this character, these energies that may be around you, that are just wanting to take from you and just wanting you to stay still in this chariot and not move forward. Why? Because people like this sometimes are frightened to do the inner work that you've done. Sometimes they're frightened to take that on board. They're frightened to even look in the mirror truly and face themselves. So it's easier to keep other people around them in the same position, in the lowlier position, rather than watch them go forward, because that would embarrass them. That would make them look at themselves and say, well, how can they do it and I haven't? I'm a thief. I take things. So use this day as a sieving process, to sieve out that doesn't serve you, to sieve out that will take from you, whether that's mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy. Don't have those people in your life. Don't allow them to halt this chariot. On the wider stage today, I feel there's going to be a few people that come up with some more links regarding some people that are in this control network, in this small few people, that really does open people's eyes that much more. In that, you know, maybe in the next 24 hours, there's going to be some kind of story broken, some kind of information leaked regarding characters that fit the bill, that fit this energy, the corruption, the theft, the disruption, the control, the narcissistic energy. And it may shock a few people, but that's good, because again, that starts that sieving process. Because if you get that shock and open your eyes, then it means you can start looking at other things, that you can start transmuting the rest of the information, the rest of the research. And that just may be enough for you to release the brake off your chariot, turn it the right way around, because if all of the work that you've been doing up to this point, and move forward, go forward through whatever barrier, whatever obstacle is in your way. On the bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. Again, this was in reverse, so it does speak of sorrow, it does speak of being upset, of feeling low. In the upright, it's alignment, it's perfection, it's emotional balance, it's connectedness. So with the kind of information that I feel is going to be leaked, that is going to be known somehow, some way, that could cause you, if you've been going along with the narrative, if you've been invested in what mainstream media is telling you, then it could be a little bit of an impact on you of feeling very sorry, very upset that you've been taken in and that such things have been going on right under our noses, and that you hadn't managed to take note yet. Sit in that energy for a little bit, yes. Transmute it, yes, because that's how we learn, not to be taken in quite so easily the next time. But don't dwell in this energy. Turn it around and just thank the lucky stars that you finally had your eyes open, that you're finally open to research, to open to more answers than you were before. So it's I think that was a bit of a weird reading, but it is what it is. I can only say what my knowings are, and what my intuition says, and what the cards say. I won't ever embellish, I won't ever try and bend the cards to my will. So it is what it is. Take of it what you will, and I hope it helps you be inspired to go forward, to find a way for you to get through your personal obstacles, to take that chariot forward, and for all of those exciting inventions, innovations to be born into our collective consciousness, we need more things like that. The kind of things that I'm saying, I don't even know how to name them, but you know, they're there. They're there in people's minds. People know that they know how they're going to manifest them. They know how to make them. So it's not embryonic anymore. Just that chariot is halted. So break through whatever barriers you have to break through, and ask yourself the question: how long are you willing to sit in the chariot without moving? So that's the reading. Be happy, be whole, and be balanced always. Much love. Mwah.